There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Definitely hope all is well. Unfortunately, it definitely looks like we have a major situation developing here. Yeah, it's been one rough week so far. Definitely under the weather a little bit. That's no problem. We're back in the saddle now. Work has been definitely pretty crazy, so that's another reason. But without further ado, we definitely have a lot of situations going on here. Definitely have a major ice storm definitely developed, major winter storm. Temperatures are already dropping. We'll definitely get into that as well. Even up in our area, we definitely have a little bit of warnings and advisories going on here. But we're going to focus on the major event here, which is definitely this possibly catastrophic ice storm. It's definitely not a good situation. It's definitely affecting a lot of populated areas, unfortunately. Hello. Hopper, come on. You going to jump up or what? Come on. Come on. She likes to invade live streams. Alright. There we go. Robert, stop. If you're gonna just chill. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna have to get a door for the office.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna have to get a door.
boards.
Something there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back on track here. So yeah, we definitely have a major winter storm definitely developing here. It's definitely not a good situation for sure. All right, guys, we definitely have a. Oop, sorry, let me do that one more time. Wow, it's only expiring 46 minutes.
Oh, interesting.
That's weird. All right. There we go, guys. So significant icing is expected. Ice accumulations of 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch is expected. Just portions of East Arkansas, North Mississippi, and West Tennessee. So this is definitely not a good situation. This is from 6 p.m. this evening until noon Wednesday. So power outages and tree damage are likely due to ice. Travel could be nearly impossible. The hazardous conditions could impact the morning and evening commutes, which I definitely believe they will. It's definitely going to be not good. And then partial ice melting may occur Tuesday afternoon before freezing rain returns Tuesday evening. So this is definitely not a good situation, guys. You can definitely tell that it's definitely going to be very major. So we do have two portions of this storm. We do have that cold air coming down from the north, and then we have that warm air surge coming up from the south. And right in the middle here, guys, this is definitely going to be a big battleground between these two sort of air masses here. So it's definitely not going to be good. It's almost like a big fight in the UFC. It's definitely not good. They're basically battling to knock each other out of the way. But unfortunately, a lot of lives will be affected by this. By this massive fight between these two systems here. As you can see all these watches and warnings pending here. So it's definitely not good. Even down here, let's take a look down here towards Dallas here, where much of Texas here is actually in a winter storm warning. And so definitely not good.
So mostly the what we're to expect in this, we're expect a form of freezing rain or sleet is expected, and about accumulations about between 1/10 and 1/2 inch of ice or sleet as possible. Is definitely not good for these areas who recently been under the gun with a lot of winter storm in the past couple of years lately. So
Yeah, exactly.
definitely cannot catch a break there for portions of Texas there.
No, unfortunately, it's definitely not good. So total ice or sleet accumulations between 1/10 of an inch and 1/2 of an inch are expected. And this might not seem a lot, but unfortunately, this is ice. This is not snow. This is definitely even more dangerous to drive in. Snow you can handle for the most part, but unfortunately, most of the areas aren't prepared for this. Down to the south here.
And all it takes is just a quick glazing, just
exactly.
To make just travel conditions almost impossible for these locations, especially in these areas that aren't used to having these types of situations. So definitely.
Yeah, definitely not good. And just to reiterate that, so significant impacts to travel may begin as early as Monday afternoon. So we're approaching that and continue through at least Tuesday night. Elevated surfaces such as bridges and overpasses will likely be first to become icy, slick, and hazardous as temperatures hover around below freezing. So this is definitely not good. So that was for portions of Texas here. We also have over here in western Texas as well, we have a winter weather advisory. This is including portions of the South Plains, Rolling Plains, and the southern panhandle of Texas here. So that's not good. This is actually extending into right around noon today, so about another 45 minutes or so expected of this. Difficult travel conditions are possible. Hazardous conditions could impact the Monday morning commute, which they did definitely. There was definitely a lot of video on Twitter regarding this event, so that was definitely pretty crazy to see.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, it's not a good situation. This is a light glazing of ice is expected, so not as much as we're expecting here in portions of the ice storm warning, but nevertheless, it's still creating and did create very, very hazardous travel conditions for sure. And just to show you here in Oklahoma as well, we definitely have that winter storm watch going as well. This is for moderate to heavy mixed precipitation possible, patchy freezing drizzle, total sleet accumulations of less than half an inch, and ice accumulations of 2/10 to 3/10 of an inch are possible. So normally you would see with snow you'd see higher values than this, but unfortunately, guys, this is ice and sleet. So this is definitely not good. A lot of people can prepare for snow, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you have. It doesn't matter, anything like that. With ice, it's almost
ice,
impossible.
exactly.
It's almost impossible to drive in. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, power outages and tree damage are definitely going to be possible due to this ice as well. I mean, 2/10 to 3/10 of an inch of ice is going to be very, very, unfortunately,
Definitely crippling.
yeah, definitely crippling. And that's almost the equivalent between 400 and 500 pounds on power lines in tree branches. So it's definitely not good. A half an inch of ice, if that's even gets up to that range, that's actually the equivalent up to 800 pounds pushing down on those power lines. So definitely not good. Let me see here. Let me go up to the north a little bit.
Even got some winter weather advisors going up all the way to Kentucky there. So
Yeah, this is portions of central Kentucky, so definitely not good. You can see just the massive area that this storm is covering. So the mixed precipitation is expected. Total snow and sleet accumulations of up to 1/2 inch and ice accumulations up to 2/10 of an inch. So it's definitely going to create very, very hazardous travel conditions for sure. It's definitely not going to be good. We'll definitely look at the model data as well once we get into that. But we want to take a look at all of these watches and warnings here. We have it here into portions of Indiana and Ohio as well. So this is east central Indiana and central and west central Ohio. This is until about another 40 minutes from now. Mixed precipitation expected. Total snow accumulations of up to 1 inch and ice accumulations of a light glaze. So it's definitely not good. This is definitely creating some hazardous travel conditions. And definitely could impact the afternoon commute here for sure. So it's definitely not good.
in parts of our areas experiencing some winter weather advisory. This is for Erie County, Maryland. So mixed precipitation expected. Total accumulations up to 1 inch, and ice accumulations of a light glaze as possible. So this is affected from 7 p.m. this evening, and this will go all the way out to 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. So
yeah, so it's definitely not good. Definitely not good. Let me actually take these warnings off real quick.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. Yep.
Hello. Hello.
All right. So this is just showing these ice totals here. It's definitely not good. Let me actually pull this up quickly. That way we can see this. Let's actually move this back a little bit, as this is through tomorrow. So we're going to have to step this back a little bit. This is the HRRR model, so it's definitely the latest data here. So it's definitely not good. You can see that ice definitely accumulating here over portions of Oklahoma here into the Ozarks here as well. And unfortunately, this is spreading down into central Texas, down into eastern Texas as well. And this will continue spreading east and northeast, and you can see that massive swath of ice definitely developing here. So it's definitely not a good situation. This extends all the way into northern Arkansas, all the way into western Tennessee here, and even into portions of the Boot Heel here in Missouri, down to the south as well, even into extreme portions of southern Illinois. And this does extend all the way into Kentucky and into Indiana as well. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on this for sure. But we're definitely going to look at some of the data here. Let me pull this up. Let me actually step this back again so we can actually get a full look at what's going on here. So this is actually starting at, let's see here. It's definitely starting around 4 p.m. tonight. So you can definitely see that that icing situation happening here all the way across. This is Oklahoma down through Texas into portions of the Ozarks. But if we step this forward, you can definitely see that ice definitely making its way, mixed precipitation and ice making its way to the east. So definitely not good. And then you get that warm push as well. Unfortunately, these temperatures are going to drop behind this. So even southern Arkansas here down into northern Louisiana could possibly see sort of an event that's definitely not going to be good. But it definitely looks like the precipitation is going to be more to the north, at least the ice. However, we're definitely going to take a look at temperatures here as well. Let me actually step back. All right, so this is actually ongoing here, guys. Let me actually show you the radar here. But you can definitely see that ice is actually overspreading the area. This is from Oklahoma City down through Norman, Wichita Falls as well, getting down into Plano and Dallas, eventually down into Tyler and Waco. So it's definitely not good. You can definitely see that the ice is developing here, and this is pretty current radar here. And this actually extends all the way up into the Ozarks here, just to in Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers, Bella Vista here in northwestern Arkansas. But it's definitely not good. Even up through Springfield as well. And eventually this is going to push eastward, and this is going to start affecting portions of northern and central Arkansas, eventually into western Tennessee as well. And you can see this is definitely going to get into some very populated areas. So travel is definitely not recommended when this storm does come in. So we'll definitely take a look at that when timing with that. But you can see that icing even down into Texas, which is definitely pretty interesting to see that icing for sure.
So it looks like it's even sitting in those same areas that got hit by those tornadoes earlier this month too.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's definitely not a good situation. But you can definitely see that frontal system here as well. It's definitely pushing down to the south and over to the east as well. You can see it's made its way down into central and eastern Texas here, where temperatures are actually down below freezing. But unfortunately, right in the middle of this, between these two air masses, so you can see the 50s and 60s here over to eastern and southeastern Texas over into Louisiana as well. But however, in between this is definitely going to be an interesting battle zone, and that's exactly where this ice is forming. So unfortunately, the air aloft is actually cold, and unfortunately, as this precipitation actually falls down to the surface, it is gradually warming. But however, once it hits the surface, it actually is freezing on contact. So it's definitely creating a very hazardous travel conditions all across the area here. So it's definitely not good. This front is definitely going to eventually sag over down to the southeast and east as well. We'll definitely take a look at the data on that just to get you guys aware, just to spread that information out there. Let's see here. Let's back up. Zoom out a bit. Let's see here. Go down to percent type. All right, so yeah, right around noon, you can definitely see the HRRR model actually resolves that precipitation pretty well. So this is around noon, and as we saw earlier, we actually saw the actual live radar data that was happening at that at this very moment. You can definitely see that icing is stretching down to the south near Waco, down through Palestine, Jacksonville as well. You can definitely see.
Even the Dallas metro area looked like getting into the act, as well as Wichita Falls.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. As we step this forward, we can actually step this forward throughout the afternoon. So we stop it at 3 p.m. here. You can definitely see the model data is picking up on that ice expanding, and that mixed precipitation definitely expanding throughout northeastern Texas here, all the way through southeastern Oklahoma into northwest southern Missouri here, all the way up through Springfield. And unfortunately, it definitely looks like very heavy precipitation. So this is right along I-40, I-35, and unfortunately, the Dallas metro area definitely getting hit as well. So it's definitely not a good situation. Travel is definitely not advised as we go through the afternoon hours today. It's definitely going to create very, very slick and possibly even very, very difficult travel conditions for sure. Unfortunately, this is in the form of mixed precipitation, so it's definitely not good. This is not in the form of snow, so that's definitely not good. It's definitely going to be that sleet type mix, so it's definitely going to create very messy conditions out there. But it's definitely not good. And as we keep stepping this forward, we can see that ice and mixed precipitation moving off to the east here, eventually spreading into much of northern Arkansas here. So later on tonight, so this is around 8 p.m. tonight. So you can see Dallas still into that mixed precipitation here.
And you see that mixed precipitation even reaching up all the way to parts of southern Illinois there with a heavy batch of it.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not good. This is actually extending through southern and southeastern Missouri here down to the Boot Heel here across I-55 here. And it's actually making its way into Tennessee at this point as well. And this extends all the way up through Illinois and even into extreme portions of northwestern Kentucky as well, getting in on the action. And you can see it's actually starting to extend into portions of southern or southwestern Indiana. So it's definitely a very, very dynamic system. But down to the south, we do have those rain showers. We are going to have to watch out for some heavy rain. We do have a lot of heavy rain coming in. We're going to have to watch out for flash flooding as well. But yeah, definitely the main concern is going to be this massive amount of ice that we're expected here.
Also, that flash freeze potential there with the transition over to some of these locations.
Yeah, so definitely not good. You can see actually tonight into 10 p.m. we're actually getting that icing into the Pittsburgh area as well, into portions of Ohio, and then we have that snow just to the north. Actually, it looks like Pittsburgh will probably be a mix at this time. There may be a little bit of snow trying to mix in there. But it's definitely not going to be very good for travel conditions tonight. I'm surprised they don't have a winter weather advisory issued tonight. They probably should. I do believe that.
I think Westmoreland might be in.
Yeah, I think Westmoreland is, and I do believe Fayette and maybe Somerset, but I do believe Westmoreland and Fayette are definitely in it for sure.
So mostly in the ridges of the Lower Highlands there.
Yeah, exactly. But it's definitely not good. This is definitely going to be a very interesting situation. Very, very dangerous. But this actually extends into Memphis tonight as well, around 10 p.m. And if we just step this forward a little bit, you can see that actually starts to sag off to the southeast down into Memphis. So this is around midnight tonight. So that's definitely not good. Very, very populated area. We definitely don't recommend travel. Fortunately, this is not during a rush hour sort of event, so that's definitely good into the city of Memphis here. But still, nevertheless, definitely use caution if you do have to venture out. We definitely don't recommend it. Roads could definitely become very, very treacherous. Definitely a lot of accidents out there if people are traveling, so it's definitely not good. And this actually extends into a good portion of Tennessee here, at least into the western portion. This actually goes up through Union City, Paris, and Clarksville as well. And as you move off to the north here, you can see this heavy band of mixed precipitation or ice actually developing here. This is through Evansville, Owensboro, Louisville, and possibly even Lexington.
And then the snow just go all the way up to through Cincinnati, even Columbus. So this is definitely a broad area, multi-state event. So
yeah, it's definitely
big frontal system here. So definitely.
Yeah, so definitely not good. You can definitely see that cold air definitely coming into the northern end of the system, and then the warmer air coming up from the south. So definitely creating that massive battle zone here with temperatures between 30 and 34 degrees. So it's definitely not good. Once those temperatures at the surface get a little bit above freezing, that's definitely not a good situation. We can actually extend this out a little bit further.
4 o'clock, so definitely.
This is actually making its way towards Nashville at this point, so if we keep extending a little bit more. This is around 2 a.m.
You can just see clear that battle zone is right between just a couple miles, like 20, 30 miles. You get from just plain rain and just a mixed bag of precipitation just in this short period of. You can see that clear battle zone just marked out.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a very, very pronounced battle zone there as well, as these two air masses definitely collide here. Fortunately, it doesn't look like this is going to create a big severe weather event, so that's definitely good news. Unfortunately, the icing situation to the north is definitely going to be the main player here. We do hope that no lives are lost during this storm system for sure. Unfortunately, people are still going to be traveling out there, but it's definitely interesting to see here for sure. That looks like a little system trying to develop out there too. So you can definitely see even in the Pittsburgh area here. So we're definitely have to watch out tonight as well going into the evening hours. I know I'll probably be traveling around 11 tonight. So that's definitely not going to be good. I'll definitely have to try to. I might try to live stream it tonight. It might be pretty interesting to see. Yeah, but it's definitely not good. Let's actually look at some of these totals here. I'm definitely interested to see. I know I showed you guys those totals earlier, but I definitely want to use Radar Omega to show you guys those totals. It just gives sort of more sort of in-depth, instead of a zoomed-out view, we can actually take a look at more closer at these communities here. So let's actually go through. We'll start about. You want to do the whole thing, or you just want to go? Like, do you want to do increments? Just the whole thing, probably, right?
Probably the whole thing, because mostly not going to be a snow event. It's going to be more of that rain and ice.
Yeah, exactly. But just to show you guys some of these snow totals here. So this is actually to the south of Springfield here. Let's actually take a look at this. So you can see it's definitely, as Justin said, it's definitely not going to be much of a snow producer. So that's good news on that front, but unfortunately it's definitely going to be a big ice producer here, so it's definitely not good. So looks like the bullseye here for snow, at least, is definitely going to be in southwestern Missouri here, just to the southwest of Springfield here. So this will be sort of in the Ozarks here. So this is about 2 inches of snow here. So it's definitely very interesting to see.
Yeah, it looks like most of the snow is going to be up in the Colorado area where they're experiencing a winter storm warning as we speak. So
exactly. But you can definitely see, so the snow for the much of the country is definitely not going to be the big player here. It's definitely going to be the ice. So we're definitely looking at an inch to about 2 inches of snow, maybe 3 inches of snow at most, across portions of the upper South, lower Midwest, and into the Mid-Atlantic as well, and into the Northeast. But let's take a look at some of those icing totals that were expected. It's definitely not going to be good. It's kind of not. Let's see here. Freezing rain. Yeah, take a look at that.
Oh, deep.
Yeah, it's
about
like
a third of an inch there.
Yeah, over a quarter of an inch. This is to the southeast and east of Oklahoma City here.
So it looks like a McAllister, Stingler, just to the west of Fort Smith there.
Yeah, so we're looking at accumulations up, possibly upwards of a quarter of an inch here. So definitely not good. 0.3 of an inch of ice. So this is just right around McAllister here. This is right along Highway 69 here, and right along
looks like
375 here and 69. Just through McAllister here, down through Savannah and Ashland as well. As we move off here, Highway 31 towards Quinton.
It's like Porham there, Carlton Landing, just in the.
Yeah, but that's definitely not good.
Even a pocket there on Route 40 on I-40 there, right to the west of Fort Smith, out towards Salisal. Looks like Maple, 7 Oak, Belfont. Looks like 101 there, 59. If you're traveling in that area.
Even through Cedarville here as well, just to the east of 101 here. So it's definitely not a good situation. We even have some of them totals actually appearing here up to the northeast as well. This would be into Arkansas.
Yep, that's Arkansas.
So this would be to the north of I-40 here and to the east of I-49. So this is near Mountainburg here. We're just expecting right around the same. We're expecting a little over a quarter of an inch of ice. And unfortunately, that is a significant amount of ice. when you get a quarter inch of snow, it's definitely like, oh, well, quarter inch of snow, dusting of snow, that's really, it causes a little bit of hazardous conditions, but not much. But unfortunately, a quarter inch of ice, it's a whole different ball game here, guys. It's definitely not a good situation. And we can actually see this as well coming into Tennessee. Just taking a look at some of these totals. I mean, that's still definitely between 1/10 and 2/10 of an inch of ice. And unfortunately, some of these areas aren't prepared for this, so it's definitely not good. Definitely not good at all. This actually extends. There's a little bit of a swath here through southeastern Missouri as well. We're looking at about 2/10 of an inch of ice.
It's here just to the northeast of Poplar Bluff there.
This is just to the west of I-55 and to the east as well. And this actually extends all the way up into extreme portions of southern Illinois here. So it's definitely not good. It's definitely a major system for sure. Doesn't look like much in the Pittsburgh area, so that's good news. Unfortunately, to the south, it looks like there's that glaze of ice. Yeah, so little over a glaze here. I'm curious to see down here in Dallas. That's another thing I was curious about. It's about 1/10 of an inch. So that's definitely not good. Definitely not good for Texas, at least. So definitely, if you guys are traveling up through Texas, from Austin to Dallas, all the way through, let me zoom in here, all the way through I-40 here, Highway 69 through McAllister, Stigler, Fort Smith, all the way through Fayetteville, Rogers, Bella Vista, through the Ozarks here, down to the south and southeast of Springfield, through West Plains, Cherokee Village, Poplar Bluff, over through I-55 going to the north. So if you're traveling from Memphis all the way up through southern Illinois here, definitely be on the lookout for very hazardous travel conditions. Unfortunately, it's definitely going to be definitely a major event,
sure.
Unfortunately, with ice. So that's definitely not good. We do have another portion of this storm as well, and that's definitely the rainfall down to the south and the southeast here. We'll definitely take a look at that. I have it here somewhere. There we go. Total precipitation. So definitely going to have some rainfall totals here as well. So it's definitely, not much, but unfortunately down to the south here. So we're looking at about a little over, quarter to a half an inch of rain here. So definitely not a lot, but definitely enough to cause problems, especially ponding on the road. So definitely hydroplaning is going to be a very, very concerning issue tonight. So definitely take it slow tonight if you guys are traveling, even to the south. If you're in the warmer temperatures, definitely still take it slow. Roads could, be definitely very slippery when they're wet, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Even into portions of southern Georgia here, we're going to have to keep an eye out. Oops, wrong one. But yeah, we're looking at possibly over an inch here into portions of southern Georgia. So let's actually zoom in. This is right around I-75 near Tifton, down through Moultrie here and Adele here. So possibly 3/4 of an inch to maybe an inch and a quarter here of rainfall. So it's definitely not going to be good. So like I said, definitely take it slow. Definitely don't try to rush tonight at all. And in the areas that are actually getting the ice, so let's highlight that one more time. Just to show you guys. Very curious here. Whoops, wrong one. I do that often. There probably is going to be a little bit of melting here, so definitely some of these totals could actually be a little inflated here. But nevertheless, we're still looking about, most likely about 2/10 of an inch of ice. So that's definitely not good. So you guys definitely, if you don't have to travel, so right along I-40 here, so from Oklahoma City over through Fort Smith, even through Russellville here, if you guys do not have to travel, I definitely would not recommend traveling tonight. If you guys are heading out to work or you're heading out to visit somebody, friends, family, definitely try to hold off until after the storm passes and as the road crews can get out there and definitely deal with the precipitation that's going to fall, because it's definitely not going to be a very good situation here. This extends all the way down through Dallas, Texas. So we're looking at I-35 here, I-30 as well. Even I-20 definitely getting in on the action through Sulphur Springs, Paris, Sherman, Gainesville, all the way up to the north through Ardmore as well. And definitely through McAllister, so if you're traveling on Highway 69 here, up to the northeast. Definitely be on the lookout for that. It's definitely going to be a very major icing situation here. So that's definitely not good. Little Rock, it looks like you guys will stay out of the ice at least for the time being. It is certainly possible on the backside of the system that we can get a little glaze of ice, especially as those temperatures continue to fall. And we can actually take a look at those temperatures here as well. Let me pull this back up. Let's actually go to the beginning here. So we'll go to 1 p.m. here just to get an idea. I definitely appreciate y'all joining us for sure. It's definitely very much appreciated. Like I said, we do apologize for not being on this entire week. It's just been a crazy week, unfortunately. Definitely a little bit under the weather and dealing with some crazy stuff at work, both of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see here. So this will be right around 1 p.m. today. So we're looking at, let's get a look at some of these temperatures here. You can see down through Dallas, we're looking at just below freezing here. And as we move over to Shreveport here, we're looking about in the 40s. But unfortunately, right in here between this Dallas and Shreveport is we're going to have that little battle zone here. And then even as we go off to the northeast, through Little Rock, all the way through portions of western and northwestern Arkansas, even northern Arkansas, we're going to have to watch this. You can see those temperatures hovering just either right below or right at or right above freezing. So definitely it's not going to be good. We'll definitely have to watch out for that as these temperatures continue to fall. We'll definitely step this forward a little bit so that way we can show you guys what to expect later on today. You can see those temperatures falling here. So we'll go to 5 p.m. So definitely not good. We have that little bit of warm push in Little Rock, so I do believe this warm push or this dry slot that's coming in is definitely going to save Little Rock, at least in terms of the icing situation. So that's definitely good news for Little Rock. Unfortunately, areas to the northwest and northern to the north as well. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said because it's definitely going to be the battle zone. As you can see, that temperature hovering right around freezing there, just above freezing. So we're looking at 33.7. So that's definitely not good. And unfortunately, on the backside of the system, you can see these temperatures definitely falling. And you can see how pronounced this frontal system actually is. It sort of reminds me, it's not as strong as the Christmas front, but it's definitely very, very sort of, you can see the similarities with it.
Yeah, and even if some of the melt and the rain that comes in beforehand, it's going to end up getting refreeze right afterwards. So any rows left and untreated might take a chance to... For any deposit, might be your chance to salt the roads real quick, just to get a quick salting on there to try to
at least try to alleviate some of this.
Stop the bleeding, I guess you can say a little bit.
Exactly, it's definitely not going to be good. But you can definitely see this frontal system actually reaches the Gulf Coast here. You can see temperatures are still relatively, they're cold, but they're relatively mild here. We're looking at 43 degrees, so that's definitely pretty chilly for Houston. If we move over a little bit, If we move over towards New Orleans, we're looking at about 65 degrees. So that's definitely, this is around 4 a.m. Tomorrow morning. So that's definitely good news. So New Orleans, you guys aren't going to get very cold down there. You guys are going to stay mostly in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So that's definitely good news. This is good for the Florida Panhandle. I mean, that Christmas storm actually dropped those temperatures down very, very significantly here.
Yeah, for sure.
This storm system is not as strong as that one, so we're still going to remain in the 60s here in Florida. So that's definitely good news. However, we start moving up towards Atlanta, that's when those 40s are going to start coming in. So we're going to have to watch that for sure, even through Nashville. So we're looking at temperatures in the 30s here, possibly even into the upper 20s. So that's definitely not good news. I'm kind of jealous of Florida right now, unfortunately. It's definitely going to be in the 20s here, low 20s, possibly maybe dipping down into the upper teens here in the Pittsburgh areas. We're going to have to watch out for this. The same cannot be said, though, for Minnesota here. And we're definitely looking at possibly temperatures maybe dipping down into the
negative 20 degrees there.
Yeah, negative 20 degrees here, so it's definitely not good. Much of Wisconsin about the same as well, definitely below zero temperatures. And the upper peninsula of Michigan as well, definitely looking at that. So definitely not good. Even into portions of Michigan where we're expecting a little bit below zero temperatures here. So this is around Mount Pleasant, Big Rapids. This is to the north of Grand Rapids here. But you can see some of these temperatures falling into below zero here at 4 a.m. So it's definitely not good. You can see that cold air definitely filtering in from the north. I definitely want to show some of the actual other data here in the future.
Yeah, it just reminds me when you hovered over the Great Lakes there, it's actually only 6.1% cover, so that's actually the lowest on record at this time. So
Wow.
that just whenever you look over that, I'm probably like, huh, that's actually interesting, actually,
Oh,
for
yeah,
this time
it's-
of year, because usually a lot of icing's in the Great Lakes right now, but the fact that most of it is remain unfrozen definitely just tells you what it is, how crazy this season has been so far.
Oh yeah. That's normally not like that. That's you said 6.1% is.
It's actually the lowest on record for this time.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
And that's covered.
yeah,
6.1%.
6.1% covered. Yeah.
Wow. So there's like 94% that's uncovered.
Exactly.
Wow. All right. Just want to take a look at this as well. So just want to show you guys some of the future stuff here as well. So we definitely have a couple storm systems coming in as well. We're gonna have to watch out for. So we have this main system coming down, definitely bringing that icing situation, unfortunately, definitely through Texas into Oklahoma, as well as into Arkansas, all the way up through the Tennessee Valley, even into the Ohio Valley here. So we're gonna have to watch that. And then on Wednesday, as we keep pushing, you can definitely see this is going to be sort of a prolonged event down here for Texas. So definitely not good. And we could potentially, maybe see some severe weather here. We're going to have to look at the temperatures. But this is definitely possible here Thursday. So we'll have to watch this. It doesn't look like it's going to be a very potent severe weather event down through Louisiana here. But we'll definitely keep our eye out on that. And let's actually go a little bit further. So let's take a look at the GFS model. You can definitely see that rain shield definitely heading up towards the Tennessee, Ohio valleys here, down through North Carolina, possibly even South Carolina here. So we're going to have to watch this very closely. And you can see how strong that system actually gets as it comes into Halifax. Definitely coming up here to 964 millibars. So it's definitely a very, very strong nor'easter. But that's good that it's actually not going to be affecting much of the United States here. Unfortunately, the wraparound behind this is definitely going to create some lake effect. And as you said, if the lake being only 6% covered, that's definitely not good. Definitely not good in terms of that air flowing over the warmer waters of the lake, definitely condensing, creating those snow showers coming across the lakes. As we step this forward into Saturday, we have that little clipper system, so that's an Alberta clipper coming down. Unfortunately, this is heading into Sunday. Definitely looks like another shot of snow for the Northeast, Pennsylvania included in that, Ohio as well, definitely Cleveland, Michigan as well, even into portions of Buffalo, Ontario. So it's definitely not a good situation. Another clipper system. And it's almost sort of looks like an atmospheric river event, but I think it's just it might be. I don't know. We have to step this forward a little bit. But Sierra Nevada is getting hammered with snow again. So that'll be good for the meltwater. But unfortunately, it'll fill those reservoirs up. But unfortunately, a lot of flooding happened, especially through California, Oregon, and Washington this season so far. We can step this forward. Actually, let's take a look at this. This is Sunday. Take a look at this icing. Ice storm down here in North Carolina, South Carolina as well, even into portions of Virginia that we're going to have to watch out for. That definitely looks like a major ice storm.
It looks like sure.
On the back side, on the southern side of this storm system. So let's step that forward. You can definitely see that icing through North Carolina, Virginia, and eventually even into possibly maybe Washington, D.C. there getting in on the action. So that's not good. Still some light snow in the Pittsburgh area. Definitely the mountains getting hit with some heavier snow, which is to be expected. Definitely those higher terrains are definitely going to see more snow for sure. And it's pretty interesting here as well. We can actually see that orangish color coming in here. That sort of hint orangish color. It's actually ice happening in the Sierra Nevada, so that's definitely going to be pretty interesting to watch. Definitely Washington, Oregon, right along the coast, they're definitely getting hammered with some rain. So it's definitely not good. We continue to step this forward. It's another low pressure system propagating up to the north there. And then we have another situation developing next week on Wednesday, so we're going to have to keep an eye out on this. We definitely have that low pressure system developing here. Again, we have that battle zone trying to form again. We have that cold air coming from the north, that warm air push from the south. So it's definitely going to create some icing conditions, possibly across, looks like Nebraska, Kansas as well, even into Iowa here, and then into portions of Illinois, and even into portions of lower Michigan, southern Michigan here, and then even into northeastern Indiana. So we're going to have to watch this very closely. We could have some severe weather definitely developing here from Arkansas all the way down through eastern Texas here. So we're going to have to watch this very carefully. And as we progress forward, you can definitely see that ice definitely blows up over Michigan here. So it's definitely not good. We're going to have to watch out for a very dangerous ice storm here. Definitely looks to be. Then we have that snow on the backside into Minnesota, Wisconsin as well, down through Iowa and Missouri as well. Another storm system. Looks like another shortwave system developing over the Rockies. So we're going to have to watch that, unfortunately. And that ice extends into New York there. That looks like a very, very major ice storm there into portions of Canada down through, it looks like Ontario there, and even down into the Adirondacks here into New York, especially through Vermont, New Hampshire as well. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on this. Possibly maybe some severe weather on the tail end of this. We're going to have to check those temperatures. But definitely not good. You can definitely see Michigan on the backside of this getting some wraparound snow, Wisconsin as well. And we have that other system coming in. Let's see if we can progress this forward a little bit. And there we go. Another system coming in. We're definitely going into an active pattern. We're definitely heading into sort of the transitional period between the two seasons. So it's definitely not going to be good. We're going to see a lot of events like this as we continue progressing forward. We do have that cold air again coming on the backside here. So definitely the same areas that are getting hit currently with this icing event. Looks like it's going to be more of a snow event now. So it's definitely not good. And we have some of that severe weather, maybe in that warm front, creeping up through northern Georgia, possibly into western South Carolina here, even into North Carolina, possibly into southeastern Tennessee. So we're going to have to watch that. Ooh, that's not good for our area.
Not at all.
You can see that low actually tracks right over us, and then that cold air just dips down into the area. So that's not good. You can see the 540 line extending all the way down into southern Arkansas here, even into portions of Mississippi. So that's definitely some freezing temperatures. Even northern Texas, much of Oklahoma as well is going to be below freezing at this point, or at freezing. You can definitely see this nor'easter definitely blowing up over the Pittsburgh area, bringing some heavy snow to the lake. So we're going to have to watch Erie and Buffalo again. Buffalo got slammed with those snowstorms, so we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out on this. And we do have another system entering the west coast here. So unfortunately, this seems to be a repeated pattern as we continue. You can definitely see that. And this looks sort of like a warmer system. So we're going to have to watch out for this. So this is really far out. This is right around February 14th. So this is going very, very far out. Definitely weather. The models can definitely change very drastically. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. Justin and I will definitely be bringing this information to you. Again, we do apologize for not being on all week. It's definitely been one hell of a week, unfortunately.
Sure.
But yeah, we're definitely going to try to keep you guys up to date for sure on what's happening. We can actually go back to the radar quickly and see what's going on here. But look at this. Look at these two lows. They're definitely going to start competing here, so that's going to be an interesting situation.
Zone again.
We're going to see which one wins out. But look how far this warm air comes up. It actually goes over the Pittsburgh area here, so we're going to have to watch this because this could be a severe weather event. This could be, if this cold air doesn't win out and the warm air does, we could possibly have a chase day.
I would be looking forward to it. Personally.
Yeah, for sure.
Excited for that.
Sierra Nevada is getting hit again. It looks like Central California getting hit with some moderate rain here as well. So we're definitely going to keep an eye out on this, guys. So definitely appreciate you guys joining us. Let's actually go back to the radar quickly and see what's going on out there. I need to get one of the stream decks because this would make it so. All right, let me pull this back up again. And we'll actually go to the radar. Ooh, that's not looking good there. Wow. Look at all that ice showing up down here. That is not good.
Now, is that just radar reflectivity over just right there? Is it actual?
Oh, I can go to single site and see what's going on. Right over into Kansas there, right?
Yeah.
That almost looks like clutter. Almost looks like clutter. But that actually looks like a little bit of precipitation showing up there.
Oh, well, it's Montezuma there.
A lot of this looks like a little bit of clutter. But it could be possible because there could be that energy definitely heading up to the north. So that's definitely not good. see here. Let me go back to the radar. At least the overall radar here. The actual. Yeah, I don't know. That looks like a really weird sort of cluttering happening here. I wonder if we can. Oh, see here. This is near Dodge City. Let me see. Let me pull up a camera of Dodge City quickly. Yeah, hello, Marlene. Definitely good morning. Definitely God bless you as well. Definitely thank you for joining us. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely hope your day is going well. Definitely hope you're staying safe with all this wacky weather going on out there.
Yeah.
So let me pull up a camera.
There's like a little trailing with just to the east of that as well.
Yeah, it does. Let me see here. Definitely want to look up a camera here, see what we can see. Just to verify that. Oops. Hold on. It's Wichita. I don't need Wichita. I need Dodge City. Connecting. See what these cameras look like. Very quickly here.
I'm not sure because that could be interesting cloud formations.
Yeah, definitely some interesting cloud formations out there. Let me actually get an actual live cam here. I know that we got a live cam here. We'll probably get an Earth cam.
Yeah, that may be weather bell. Not weather bell. Yeah, weather bell.
Yeah.
Weather bell. Sorry. That's still a thing.
It looks relatively sort of hazy out there, actually. You know, you can see that sort of, it's kind of like it's like a little bit of a blurriness,
A little bit.
It definitely looks like there could be maybe some light snow falling there. Yeah, it's definitely hard to see, though.
That's true.
Yeah, it's weird. It could be some fog trying to form.
It looks like there's like a little bit of clear spots there, so...
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see.
That area.
Denver definitely, to the north of Denver getting slammed now. Let me actually... Oh, yeah, you're good.
Hello. Of course.
Yeah, we can definitely take a look at Dallas for you. So far, nothing yet. It's supposed to be here this afternoon. Oh, yeah, definitely for sure. You said on Wednesday. Okay, we'll definitely take a look at Wednesday for you. Definitely bear with me. Definitely appreciate you joining us.
Oh, wow.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Now, are you looking at in terms of temperature as well, and precipitation for sure? Definitely take a look at that. Let's go to precipitation type, and we will go to Wednesday for you. You're looking at a specific time frame on Wednesday, or just the entire day? Because that's no problem at all. Yeah, it's no problem at all. We can definitely take a look at both. Let's see here. All day, yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to use the North American model. Let's see here. Let's see if we can go into Wednesday for you. All right, let me allow this to load really quickly. Okay, let's go into, we'll start actually at midnight here. So 12 a.m. on Wednesday. It definitely looks like there's a little bit of ice coming into the area. Definitely some mixed precipitation. Definitely looks like that ice up towards Plano and McKinley here. So we're going to have to watch out for that. But definitely during midnight, so this is Tuesday night into Wednesday, we can definitely see that ice forming here. As we progress forward into the morning commute, definitely looks like a little bit of that ice mixed precipitation definitely lingering around here in the Dallas area. Definitely strong signatures here coming from the southwest here. So we're going to have to watch this area. Could definitely propagate into the area, so we're going to have to take a look at this. And yeah, you could definitely see around the late morning commute here, so around 11 a.m. on Wednesday, you could definitely see that precipitation coming in. It looks like mixed precipitation for sure. But it definitely looks like there's a little bit of a break in the action between 7 and around 10. So that might be good news there. But definitely right around 11, 10 to 11 a.m. is definitely where this ice comes in. Definitely right around the noon hours, definitely where it looks like it builds in unfortunately very prominently in the Dallas area. We can definitely step forward to the afternoon into the evening. So definitely looks like there's a little bit of warm air trying to come in there, which is definitely not good news. That could definitely cause some very, very heavy amounts of freezing rain to happen there. Let's actually take a look at the actual ice accumulations that we can see here through Wednesday, 6 p.m. So let's see here. Let's see what we got going on. Oops, I always hit that button. I swear I'm freaking... Ooh, that's... so this is... you're looking at about 1/10 of an inch of ice, so definitely not good. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a good drive for sure. Yeah, you're definitely welcome. We definitely appreciate you. Definitely thank you for asking that. We definitely want to make sure that you get the latest information from us here at World Weather Authority. But yeah, definitely thank you for joining us here. So yeah, definitely if you're traveling on Wednesday, definitely use caution while you're out there for sure. Travel is probably not going to be recommended, but if you do have to travel, definitely please use caution out there. It definitely could be very dangerous driving conditions as well. Let me see here. Curious to see what the temperatures are going to be at 6. Yeah, that's the scary thing. It's a little bit above freezing, so it's just a 0.5 degree above freezing. So that's definitely possible where you can get those freezing rain, sleet events definitely developing. So definitely not good. Definitely not looking good for Dallas on Wednesday, unfortunately. So no snow, so that's good news. There's probably going to be a few flakes mixed in, some of that mixed precipitation. So you might see, bigger flakes mixed in there. However, it's definitely going to be the mixed precipitation. The freezing rain, the sleet is definitely going to be the most concerning event. But yeah, definitely not looking good. I wish I could say it was looking good. I definitely wish I could say that. I definitely want to go down to Texas this season. If we can somehow make it down there. Definitely down into, Texas, or at least broaden our horizons down into Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
Just to be able to actually experience that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, I always forget. I got to turn it to... Yeah, so right around Rogers, right now, looking at a lot of heavy mixed precipitation here through Bella Vista down through Fayetteville. So if you're traveling in that area, definitely please use caution. And even all the way through central Oklahoma here, moving into southeastern Oklahoma as well, even into Texas, so the Dallas area, you definitely get a little bit of mixed precipitation coming in from the west and southwest. So if you're traveling out there, definitely please use caution, especially around the Fort Worth area. This is right on your doorstep, if not actually within the actual city here. Right along I-35 west here, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Even down to the south, down through Tyler, Texas, we're looking at some of that ice developing. Shreveport, we're looking still some rain, so that's definitely good news. Definitely right now looking good in New Orleans, so definitely shout out to Dark Waters. You're definitely doing a fantastic job. I definitely have to get in contact with you. Definitely have to see how you're doing for sure. Hopefully you're doing well. Unfortunately here, down through Tulsa, down through Broken Arrow, Bixby, down through Muskogee here. Muskogee, my apologies. Right along I-44 here and I-40, definitely some ice developing here. Mixed precipitation, so it's definitely going to be creating some very hazardous travel conditions all the way up through Springfield. And this event is actually going to make its way up to the northeast as well, into the Pittsburgh area, the Ohio area as well. So we're definitely going to have to watch out for this. In Shreveport, if we get ice, the city closes. Wow. Yeah, I can definitely believe that. Definitely down to the south. Unfortunately, most of these areas really aren't prepared for ice. So that's definitely not good news. I'm probably going to jump off of here in a little bit, probably in a minute or two. Definitely jump off. I got to go check on some things. But I definitely appreciate you guys joining us. I'm definitely going to be back on later today. I'll definitely be back on tomorrow as well. But definitely appreciate you guys joining us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to get off myself. Got a few errands to run.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Today, so.
Well, it's definitely good seeing you, brother.
Absolutely, bro.
Always. I'm glad we can reconvene back in the studio here.
Oh, Bonnie's going, actually.
But definitely thank you guys for joining us. We're definitely going to create some more videos here. Definitely some live streams. But definitely, guys, always remember, guys, never stop chasing.